They're one of the oldest and most respected names in cruising and widely acknowledged as the market leader in premium 5-star service and have an instantly recognisable fleet of iconic blue-hulled ships. Today on Planet Cruise Weekly, we're asking the question, just who are Holland America Line? Well, hello and welcome. I'm Keith and this is Glenn.
Hiya, you okay?
We're your hosts for episode 51 of Planet Cruise Weekly. Quite exciting, Glenn, isn't it? Because we are doing another one of our cruise line specials where we delve deeply into the wonderful world of a particular cruise line.
Very exciting. Who are we talking about today?
Well, Holland America, actually,
that's right.
funnily enough. Yeah, we're going to throw our magnifying glass on them and
We talked about Coningsdam a few weeks ago, didn't we? The new ship.
a few months ago, but
few
time
months
does
ago.
fly,
Oh,
you're
it does
right.
fly, yeah.
And we looked at Coningsdam, and in fact, if you want to find more out about that particular ship, click the link right there. But right now, we're going to have a little bit more of a detailed look at the line themselves. Now, as we told you in episode 48 of Planet Cruise Weekly, Holland America are part of the world's biggest cruise line, Carnival Corporation. As with all the lines that form part of this cruising Goliath, they very much have their own unique identity and history. So now we're going to take a look and ask the question, just who are Holland America Line? So the words of Dylan Thomas, we need to begin at the beginning and have a quick look at the history of this iconic line. So over to you, Glenn.
Thank you very much. So it might surprise you to discover that Holland America Line are actually one of the oldest names in cruising, with its origins tracing back to 1873 when they were founded as the Dutch American Steamship Company. However, because the company was headquartered in Rotterdam and provided a service to the Americas, they quickly became known as the Holland America Line, or HAL for short.
Holland America Line were responsible for helping hundreds of thousands immigrate to the US, carrying them from Rotterdam through to New York to begin their new lives. But they were also one of the pioneers of modern day cruising, offering their first ever cruise holiday in 1895.
I think I sold that.
Is that how long you've been here?
It was a two-night stay in New York, yeah.
Now, we're not sure how successful that was though, as they didn't offer their second one until 15 years later.
That's when I sold the next one.
Which was in 1910, and that was a trip down to the Eastern Mediterranean from New York through to the Holy Land.
And today, Holland America's fleet offers more than 500 cruises to 350 ports in more than 100 different countries.
So what about the fleet? Well, there's 14 ships in total in Holland America's current fleet, and that's divided into 7 classes. Now, classes vary by ship size, age, and what's offered on board, but the ships within each class typically share a similar design, layout, and features. Now, the fleet has a great range of choice, from the oldest Statendam class, which was built in the mid-90s, which carried just 1,300 guests and epitomised the line's vintage charm, through to the more contemporary 2,100 capacity signature class of ships that were built in the noughties.
However, there is a new kid on the block, the Koningsdam, and we did talk about this a few months ago. She's the first in the line's newest Pinnacle class of ships, which are the largest and most innovative in the fleet and have a passenger capacity of about 2,650, so they are the biggest. Koningsdam include a handful of firsts for the line, including a 2-tiered Lido pool with an outdoor movie screen, a main theatre with a 270-degree LED screen, and some fantastic new restaurants such as Celle de Mer, which serves up seafood and French fare in a traditional brassiere setting. Okay, so it's not all about new builds though. They have spent millions and millions of dollars updating their fleet since 2003 and have just committed a further $300 million investment updating entertainment, dining and suites across its fleet between 2016 and 2018.
So what about the onboard ambience? It is a more traditional cruising experience with modern touches, and one of the few lines that still has gentlemen dance hosts on their grand voyages.
The ships themselves are not gimmicky, and they don't feature big water parks, zip lines or bumper cars like on some of the other big cruise lines. They are gracefully designed, almost paying homage to that golden age of transatlantic travel, with spacious public rooms adorned with fine art and antiques, and wide teak promenade decks, while still offered extensive dining options and enrichment programs.
I mean, Glenn's right here, because all the ships do bear a very similar look and feel, with these vintage style navy blue hulls, the understated decor with pops of colour and artsy features, and classy dining venues, big bold features, and very simplified pool areas. They're really, really well designed and beautiful both inside and out.
Because of this deliberate onboard style, Holland America traditionally attracts couples, solo cruisers and groups of friends from their 40s upwards. That said, the trips out to Alaska, for which HAL are famous, do draw more families and multi-generational groups.
Okay, next up we're going to talk about the dining with Holland America line, and this is something they've always paid a lot of time and attention to, and I know that many experienced cruisers I talk to believe them to be the best line for dining in the industry, with extensive options whether you're vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, wheat-free, low sugar, low carb, high carb, or just normal. And Glenn, I've got good news for you because they have loads of burgers and chips and pizza on board.
Lovely.
Culinary efforts are led by Master Chef Rudy Soderman, and under his guidance the cruise line has received several accolades and awards. Now he runs the Culinary Council to provide insight, opinions and expertise on the food and its presentation.
Now they offer both traditional set time, same table mates dining as well as you wish dining, which allows passengers more flexibility in choosing when and with whom they eat, and this is really becoming popular on most cruise lines now. Following the success of the Pinnacle Grill, HAL introduced a bevy of other alternative dining venues, including a family-style Italian option called Canaletto's, a popular Asian fusion venue called Tamarin, and the new Pinnacle Class edition of Sal de Mer for a French take on seafood.
What does that mean?
Salt of the sea.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now, for passengers wishing to do the cooking as well as eating, Holland America offers the American Test Kitchen Culinary Arts Centre. So these are for demos and also for hands-on cooking. And on Koningsdam, the centre will also serve as a farm-to-table dinner venue, which you can book for an additional fee, which is absolutely amazing.
Now, from family to solo cruisers, there's a massive selection of choice between 23 categories on the smallest ship to 38 on the largest, all divided among 6 basic categories, while stateroom categories remain fairly standard with traditional inside, outside, balcony and suite options. The line has more recently introduced spa staterooms. Located near the spa, they featured tailored amenities such as a loofah mitt. There you go, what more do you want?
Do you know what that is?
That plugs into your docking station.
Doesn't plug into anything, does it?
Okay. Bath salts, a yoga mat, an iPod docking station, you'll love that one, 2 pedometers and a countertop water feature for that relaxed ambience.
Just up your street. And they've also introduced the unique Lanai staterooms, which are technically it's an ocean view cabin with basically sliding glass doors that open directly onto the public lower promenade deck, which is this beautiful old teak deck. And you get a deck chair just outside the door as well. So it's quite unique, not for everyone, but I think they're really lovely and quite spacious.
Yeah, something a little bit different anyway. Now we should note here that at present only the Pinnacle class ships have solo and family stateroom options, but all staterooms offer the highly rated Mariner's Dream bedding and Eurotop mattresses.
And they are super, super comfortable. Plus, you get the excellent Elemis Aroma Pure bath products, which absolutely smell delicious. You get bathrobes, you get a no-fee 24-hour room service, and much, much more. Now, next up, something close to my heart, the entertainment on board Holland America line. We're going to start with some big breaking news, which has literally just happened in the last week or so. Oprah Winfrey is actually coming to Holland America, and she doesn't do partnerships with many people, so this really is big news. The line had just announced a 2-year brand partnership with O, which is the Oprah magazine, which will bring Oprah's book club on board with more than 300 sailings throughout 2017 and 2018, along with fitness classes like meditation and Tai Chi, enrichment courses, and demonstrations about healthy eating.
Now Oprah will make an appearance on board sailing on her first trip to Alaska on board Holland America's Eurodam for 2 days during July the 15th departure from Seattle.
Now, as we've mentioned already, Holland America Line don't really do gimmicks, but they do offer a wide array of daily activities, which include enrichment programs like cooking classes and wine tastings and mixology classes, art events, themed trivia games, fitness classes, digital workshops, seminars, movies, and other special interest events during the day.
Now, nightlife is fairly understated, with pre-dinner cocktails generally being the liveliest time, but there's production shows and live band performances along with dancing, piano bar sing-alongs and occasional late nights in the nightclub.
However, the no gimmicks traditional approach hasn't stopped Holland America from innovating, and they've recently introduced some exciting new options, including a new partnership with BBC Earth. This will introduce a plethora of onboard enrichment, including live musical concerts, photography classes, an interactive BBC quiz show, which sounds absolutely fantastic, and an exclusive programme for kids.
Very good. And now another excellent addition is the BB King's Blues Club experience, which debuted on Eurodam in March 2013 and has since been added to a handful of ships. In each ship's Queen's Lounge, passengers can enjoy music and entertainment straight from Beale Street in Memphis.
Now, Koningsdam also introduced some exciting new additions, which where possible are going to be added to the rest of the fleet in due course with some of those upgrades that we were talking about earlier. Now, this includes the Lincoln Centre stage, which brings live chamber music to the high seas, Billboard ONBOARD, which is a live stage where two pianists, a guitarist and a DJ play chart-topping music for the past 50 years, and a new wine tasting experience called Blend. And this is in partnership with, and I'm going to get my pronunciation really wrong.
Why you're doing this?
Chateau Saint Michel.
There you go.
Is that right?
Yep.
Oh dear. There we go. And this is where basically up to 10 wine lovers can learn about and taste wine prior to mixing up 5 wines to create their very own blend.
Nice, excellent. Now, close to our hearts are families. Obviously, taking the kids on board is something that's very important to us. So it may surprise you to hear that while HAL are more traditional in their approach, they still offer some excellent facilities for families with Club HAL program covering 3 to 17-year-olds.
Now, kids can take part in the Walking with Dinosaurs activities through the Line's partnership with BBC Earth, along with other BBC Earth themed happenings. And we think it's a big bonus that several ships in the fleet have a top deck Oasis teen hangout spot with a teen-only pool. And this is something of a rarity in the industry for teens to be looked after in such a specific way, and it's a big plus.
Now, another good news story here is the after-hours babysitting, available from 10 p.m. until midnight for kids aged 3 to 12, and for children under 5. Limited babysitting might be available on the sea days as well.
Next up, itineraries. Where can you go with Holland America Line? Well, as we said at the start, there's over 500 different cruises to choose from to over 350 ports in more than 100 different countries. You can literally sail the world over, particularly as Holland America Line are one of the few companies that still offer a yearly world cruise on MS Amsterdam.
If you're happy to fly, then the world awaits with cruises to Canada and New England, the Caribbean, Mexico, Panama Canal, Hawaii, Asia, South America and South Africa.
However, the real standout trump card is that Holland America have one of the strongest Alaskan programs in the industry, with a wide range of different cruise itineraries and cruise tours.
With 7 to 14 night sailings out of Seattle, Vancouver or Seward, this is your chance to see the last frontier in all its grandeur, complete with looming glaciers, graceful whales and snowy, elegant peaks. Nice, eh? Yeah. The 49th state, the largest in the US, has the only US capital that's not accessible by car, and the best way to experience and explore it is of course via a cruise ship. You sail through the Alaska Inside Passage, a complex labyrinth of fjords and bays before stopping in the capital of Juneau. A perfect blend of bustling city and breathtaking wilderness, where just north of the city sits the spectacular Maidenhall Glacier, an ice river that's part of the 1,500-mile Juneau icefield.
Now at Skagway, you'll get to trace the footsteps of the thousands who flock to Alaska and the Yukon with the hope of striking it rich, and see the stunning views as you travel along Alaska's White Pass aboard a narrow gauge rail car. You'll stop at the old gold rush camp of Liesville, where you can try to pan for gold and be entertained by the dancehall girls.
You'll get to cruise through the Glacier Bay, breathing in the awe-inspiring scenery as you glide through the emerald waters and past carving icebergs and spot the abundant wildlife, including humpback whales, sea otters, porpoises, harbour seals, black bears, mountain goats, bald eagles, and a large colony of seabirds as well.
I'm sure you said wild wife there, not wild
I know.
Life. Now, if that hasn't whetted your appetite, then please do check your pulse, because Alaska sounds absolutely incredible, and hopefully it's at least given you more of an idea about Alaska and also who Holland America are and why they're a great choice to cruise with. Now click here to find available cruises to Alaska and beyond with Holland America Line. And of course, as we do every week, we do want to engage with our social media following, and we want to thank you so much in advance for all your comments. So first of all, a big thank you to Antonio Paradiso. Antonio said, well done guys, that was in relation to our last episode all about the new MSC ship, and sadly that was the one that you weren't on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Me and Jade, so it's a kind of well done to me, but thank you very much Antonio, and I'll pass your comments on to Jade. And the other one is to Jessica Gregory, and she's asked, is it free to go to the fitness centre? And that was about the video that we did on Carnival Vista. The answer is yes, it is free. In fact, going to the fitness centre is free on virtually every ship
Always
cruise
very
ship in
busy on the
world.
first day and then dwindles as the cruise goes on.
It's terrible, isn't it? People just lose the appetite. It's
Yeah.
like those gym memberships.
No,
that you get in January.
that's the one thing they don't do. They definitely don't lose the appetite.
Jessica, thank you, because if you do have any questions, do get in touch, because next week we're going to be doing a dedicated episode answering your questions. So just a whole episode answering questions. So if you've got anything you want to know, be it about anything to do with the cruise industry or about Glenn and myself, then get in touch and we'll be happy to answer. And if you do want to get in touch, how do they do it?
They can do it a number of ways. They can contact us at hello@planetcruise.co.uk. They can check us out on Twitter, of course, Facebook. Make sure you go onto the YouTube channel, subscribe, like us, and look at all the videos we have, not just from this show, but all our other Planet Cruise weekly shows, and of course also our Ideal World show that we do every Tuesday night. And then of course, check out the website. Go on there, that's got all the cruises on there. 16,000 cruises on there at the moment on our website. If you don't know where to go, give us a call. We're in the office to help and assist you.
In the meantime, have a fantastic week, whatever you're doing. Thanks for watching.
Cheers, guys.
And we'll see you soon.